करना पड़ता।
रहने दीजिए, 5 मिनट दीजिए मुझे, मैं लिंक देता हूँ, फिर उसके बाद मुझे।
फाइन 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 सर। अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। अस्सलाम वालेकुम सारा भाई मैम। अच्छा फाइन 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 सर।
नीचे हमारे अरफत साहब के रूम में है मैडम। आपका बैंक पेमेंट है?
पेमेंट हाँ मिल गया है।
बैंक में है, कैश में है?
कैश में।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। अस्सलाम वालेकुम सारा भाई मैम।
आइए बैठिए, 5 मिनट वेट कीजिए।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम मैम।
आयशा मैडम, आयशा मैडम
बोलिए बोलिए सर, टेल मी।
लिंक भेजा हूँ, देखो आपको।
ओके ओके ओके। अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। अस्सलाम वालेकुम सारा भाई मैम।
आइए बैठिए, 5 मिनट।
Science teachers, please check whether your children, all of them, have joined or not, please.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, Nitya, good morning.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Sara bhai ma'am, assalamu alaikum, I said.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Assalam. How are you, ma'am?
Alhamdulillah, some connection going on, coming, going, coming. Please wait.
Okay, okay, ma'am. I'm glad you are in the meeting, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
From the accounts department. It is with them.
Assalamu alaikum, I said.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you, ma'am?
Alhamdulillah, some connection going on, coming, going, coming. Please wait.
Assalamu alaikum, principal sir. Welcome, sir.
थैंक यू। कहाँ जा? हाँ तो मुझसे कब मिले?
हेलो आयशा मैडम.
जी सर.
आप बोलिए मैडम, किस किस को क्या क्या करना है. अभी मैं
जी,
एक्चुअली आई एम नॉट मेकिंग होस्ट टू एनीबॉडी. I will
Okay.
give the access to screen access. Whoever want,
Okay.
they can straight away access the screen and they can share their
Okay.
presentations.
Okay, sir. Just give the share screen access only to the teachers, which I take the name because others may interrupt.
Yeah.
If you enable all,
Now the
they may interrupt.
chat is closed. Unmute themselves also. I'll keep it open. Okay.
Okay.
Chat. You want the chat to be open or no?
Yeah, please keep open the chat because our children, alhamdulillah, are good. They follow the etiquettes.
Okay. So, I will allow the screen share. So any teacher want, I can share the screen now. No issues.
Girls are actually the presenters. Girls are the presenters of the program mainly.
Okay.
So there are 30 girls nearly. So each will be speaking for 2 minutes. So
when you
teachers,
speak,
you can
switch on the
yeah.
You can switch on the camera and speak. Camera is required or no for the speaker?
It is up to them to switch on. Most of them will switch on the camera and speak, sir.
Okay.
But the presentations are there, so how will they share the screen?
They can share the screen.
Yeah, they can share the screen as well as they'll be visible.
Yeah.
We have this option.
So request all the presenters. No, request all the presenters. You can share the screen as per your turn, and you can switch on the camera. It's an optional. So if you want to switch on the camera, you can switch on the camera.
Yes. Cast play girls, you have to definitely switch on your camera. Please remember.
Okay. And request all the other members, other participants to keep mute yourself until and unless you don't have the question and answer session.
Yes.
So any question you can put in the chat box. We'll take it up later. So 86 joined, madam, so far here.
Yeah, I have sent the video that is YouTube link also.
28 people join in YouTube.
Alhamdulillah. More will join, sir, inshallah.
Yeah.
It is just 10:28.
Good morning, everybody.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Good morning.
Walaikum assalam. Good morning. Happy to see all of you as well. Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
We are glad that you have taken the time for us. Really, we are overwhelmed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Could I just know what time, we are going to start at 10:30. So how long will the whole program be there? I mean, is it scheduled for 1 hour or more than that?
Ma'am, actually, it is scheduled for more than 1 hour. Maybe it will go till 1:30.
Till
1 hour and 30 minutes.
Okay. You mean 1 hour and 30 minutes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
1.5 hours.
Fine. Okay, fine. And then I would be, I don't want to skip any portions of the, program because I would like to.
Thank you very much.
But still, I need to know the time span. Okay, so that I could, take a break in the middle and come. Okay, and then inshallah I'll be, there.
Thank you so much.
Inshallah. Okay, and good luck to the students. I hope the students can hear me.
Any one of you please respond? Any one of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and good luck. And let's see, we are doing something which is, not during during the pandemic, things have been hampered, and then things have come to a standstill. But in spite of that, you are working out, showing your ability to, even come out of the bloom and do something which is beyond our imagination. Like if you're doing it physically in the school, that's a different aspect that's been going on through ages. But in the 32-year history or 33-year history of the school, you're doing the science exhibition online, which itself, it's an achievement in itself, just to think about it. So let's begin with it. And I would be, attending the session. This is on behalf of the whole MC. I would be representing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome.
Principal, sir, it is 10:31. Shall we start or wait for a few more minutes?
How many students? How many students are going?
Okay, sir. Sir, total strength in our Zoom meeting is 98. And Nadeem, sir, how many have joined the YouTube, sir?
43, madam.
43, sir. वहाँ पे 43 हैं. There are 43 there.
I think.
Then you start, madam. Then you start, madam.
Okay. Yeah, presenters, you can take up the stage and the floor, and please continue.
The future belongs to the curious, the ones who are not afraid to try it, explore it, poke at it, question it, and turn it inside out.
Essential to start a new day with the remembrance of the Almighty. I therefore call upon Mrs. Sarabhai ma'am for the Surah recitation.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Audible, eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Assalam. Yes, ma'am. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي هب لي حكما وألحقني بالصالحين واجعل لي لسان صدق في الآخرين واجعلني من ورثة جنة النعيم واغفر لأبي إنه كان من الضالين ولا تخزني يوم يبعثون يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم وأزلفت الجنة للمتقين وبرزت الجحيم للغاوين. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Rabbi habli hukman wa alhikni biswalihin. My Lord, bestow hukum, religious knowledge on me, and join me with the righteous. Waj'al li lisana sidqin fil akhirin, and grant me an honorable mention in later generations. Waj'alni min warasati jannati na'im, and make me one of the inherits of the paradise of delight. Waghfir li abi innahu kana min al-dhalin, and forgive my father. Verily, he is of the erring. Wala tukhzini yawma yub'athun, and do not disgrace me on the day of judgment. All will be resurrected. Yawma la yanfa'u malum wala banun, the day when there will not benefit anyone, wealth or children. Illa man atallaha bi qalbin salim, but only one who comes to Allah with a sound heart, clean from shirk and nifaq. Wa uzlifatil jannatu lil muttaqin, And paradise will be brought near to the muttaqin, the pious, the righteous. وَبُرِّزَتِ الْجَحِيمُ لِلْغَاوِينَ. And the hellfire will be placed in full view of the erring. The Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, chapter number 26, verses number 83 to 91. Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim.
A very warm and auspicious morning to everyone present here. I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our most honorable principal sir, far-sighted vice principal ma'am girls section, zealous managing committee members, conscientious teachers, and charming students of class 10th. You can expect an awesome and entertaining day ahead. The special activities of this day shall surely leave you engrossed.
India has a great heritage of science and technology. Many Indian scientists have gathered global recognition by their work, and Indian physicist Sir Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman is one of them. To celebrate this success, the Government of India decided to celebrate the day on 28th February as National Science Day from 1999. The main objective of National Science Day is to bring awareness to people about the importance of science in our daily life and to encourage people by popularizing science and technology. We take immense pleasure in wishing you an incredibly happy National Science Day.
I want to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to the principal of our school. Thank you, sir, for all you do to improve our institution. Without your arduous work and incredible passion for art development, our school would not be what it is today. You have made a significant difference in the lives of students and teachers, and for that, we're grateful forever. I humbly request our principal, Dr. Naushad Ali, sir, to share his precious thoughts with us.
Thank you, students. The true wealth of the nation consists not in the stored up gold, but in the intellectual and physical strength of its people. Esteemed members of the school managing committee, Dr. Asma, Vice Principal of Boys and Girls Section, HMs of various sections, coordinators of the program, and dear students, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. We have assembled here to celebrate National Science Day through Zoom. This day is celebrated every year on 28 February to recall the noble invention Raman effect by India's greatest scientist Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman. Let me take a moment to explain what is the Raman effect in a very simple way. It is a change in the wavelength of light that occurs when a light beam is deflected by a molecules or dust less transparent surface. It also explains the natural phenomena on appearance of blue sky, advanced sunrise, and delayed sunset due to the scattering of light. My research work during PhD based on the Raman effect. Venkata Raman was awarded with a Nobel Prize for this discovery in 1930 and Bharat Ratna in 1954. He was born at Tiruchirappalli in South India on 7th November 1888. He passed his BSc examination in 1904 with a gold medal in physics from Presidency College, Madras. In 1907, he completed his MSc degree with distinctions. Venkata Raman has been honored with a large number of honorary doctorates and membership of scientific societies. He was selected a Fellow of the Royal Society early in his career, 1924, and was knighted in 1929. National Science Day is celebrated to spread a message about the importance of science used in daily life of the people They display all the activities, efforts, and achievement in the field of science for human welfare. It is celebrated to discuss all the issues and implement new technology for the development in the science field. To give an opportunity to the scientific-minded citizens in India. The theme of National Science Day 2021 is Future of Science, Technology and Information. Imparts on education, skills and work. The National Science Day 2021 aims to motivate the students to gain hands-on experience in the field of science. I place on record the initiative taken by the IIS Jubail students to celebrate this day. God bless you all. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your stimulating words. Your words are always a source of inspiration for all of us.
It is with our diligent Vice Principal's energy, enthusiasm, and focus on education and learning that our girls section has achieved greater excellence. We hope that under her able leadership and guidance, we may reach the next levels of glory. I request our Vice Principal, Mrs. Aisha Tazeen Ma'am, to share her thoughtful insight with us.
Ma'am, you are muted.
Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding. It was really muted. Esteemed member of the managing committee, Dr. Ashma Shamail Sheikh ma'am, respected principal sir, as rightly pointed out by Wali Ammai, the main architect behind this great show, coordinators of the science program, senior most teacher Sarabai ma'am, and all the attendees of the program, including the presenters of the today and all the students who are on the YouTube as well as in the Zoom meeting. Assalamu alaikum and good morning. At the outset, I would wish you all a very happy National Science Day. Dear children, it is a very little effort to develop the scientific temper in you, to give you a kind of orientation regarding the various developments taking place in the field of science. As it is rightly said by Dr. C.V. Raman, the solution to every economic problem in any nation is science, and still more science. As science is the systematized body of knowledge and converts Pandora box into Skinner box. Myself and Principal Sir wanted that kind of vigor to be inculcated in our students through this platform. I have explained him my initiative regarding this and he approved. At the very first place, he said, okay, go ahead. I will always remember these words, sir. Thank you so much. And today I have come to know that your research topic was Raman effect. What a great coincidence, sir. Thank you for the information.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Dear children, I really appreciate the work done by you. Yesterday, I have seen the rehearsal for almost 3 hours, and you have really done it very well. And you have cut short it into 1.5 hours as per the instructions given. Please go ahead with the program. I pray for all of you that you would definitely become the future astronauts, the future astrobiologist, the future geologist, the future engineers, doctors. Wherever the science takes you, fly there and keep your own personality, become the better version of yourself. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your precious words and for inspiring us to achieve our dreams every single day. Before proceeding with the actual program, I request the audience to take down the important points for a Google form based on the upcoming events will be shared at the end of this program.
Raman invented the Raman effect, which studied the scattering of light in liquids, solids, and gases. For this tremendous invention, he received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1930. The life journey and experiments of Sir C.V. Raman is an enthralling one, filled with lots of surprise. I therefore call upon the students of 10C and 10J to take us on a gratifying journey through Sir C.V. Raman's inventions.
Thank you very much, Valiame. Einstein rightly quoted, "The mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original size."
A warm good morning to one and all.
I'm your friend Devishri with my partner Musfira here. It is our pleasure and privilege to be the anchor of this segment. We are immensely pleased to see you all amidst your busy exams preparation.
So, for what auspicious occasion have we gathered here?
Today, we are celebrating the National Science Day. Do you know what that is?
Yes, National Science Day is celebrated in India on 28th February each year to mark the discovery of the Raman effect.
I'm the master of my mind. If I never fail, how will I learn?
Yes, I'm the master of my failure. If I never...
Absolutely. It can be none other than Dr. Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman.
Yes, I'm the master of my failure. If I never fail, how will I learn?
Now, to know more about him, please help me welcome Sehrish to speak on C.V. Raman sir.
Thank you, Devishri. Sir Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman was an Indian physicist born in the 7th of November 1888, British India. He is known for his famous discovery, the Raman effect, which led him to become the first ever Indian recipient of the Nobel Prize in 1930 and the Bharat Ratna in 1954. Not only this, his contribution in setting up institutions within India is enormous. Indian Finance Department, Indian Institute of Science, the Raman Research Institute, the Indian Academy of Science are some of his many initiatives. Now, to let us know more about Sir C.V. Raman, let's hear Priyanshi Mehta.
Thank you, Sehrish. Now let us look at Dr. C.V. Raman's childhood and family. Dr. C.V. Raman was born on 7th November 1888. He was a very intelligent student since his early childhood. At the age of 13, he passed 12th class with a scholarship and joined the Presidency College and received his graduate degree in 1904. In 1907, he married Lokasundari Amal and had two sons, namely Chandrasekhar and Radhakrishnan. Dr. C.V. Raman abode to heaven in Bangalore on 21st November 1970. Over to Musfira.
Thank you, Priyanshi. Dr. Raman sir was encouraged by his teachers who knew he was a bright student to prepare for his ICS exam. Nevertheless, before going to England for the exam, he had a medical checkup. Surprisingly, he couldn't go as he wasn't fit enough. Despite all this, he felt grateful to the examiner who eliminated him.
But we know that success is not built on success. It's built on failure. It's built on frustrations. And sometimes it's built on catastrophe. C.V. Raman sir broke all his obstacles and struggles and proved that if a person really wants to pursue his or her desires, nobody can stop.
Genius without education is like silver in the mine. Let me tell you about his educational qualifications. Raman, during his scientific career, studied the physics of the violin. Raman spent 10 years of his life in Visakhapatnam, going through primary and secondary schools. And after 2 years of college, Raman entered the portals of Presidency College as a young lad of 14. Raman passed the BA degree examination in 1904 at the age of 15, winning first place and gold medals in English and physics.
He won scholarship and joined Presidency College in Madras. He also received the degree of Honorary Doctor of Science in University of Paris. When he was our age, 16 years, he published a newspaper in the Philosophical Magazine while being a student. C.V. Raman sir was indeed phenomenal in opening the world of science to us.
Friends, do you know what C.V. Raman discovered in his institute? In 1928, Raman discovered that when a beam of colored light entered a liquid, a fraction of the light scattered by that liquid was of a different color. Raman showed that the nature of this scattered light was dependent on the type of sample.
And now, with a good theater atmosphere, let us enjoy a video to understand the fun concept of Raman effect further.
Feel free to have some fabricated popcorns of your liking.
One of the most prominent Indian scientists in history, C.V. Raman. The Raman effect is now examined with the help of equipment worth almost millions of rupees. He studied the diffraction of light, and his thesis on the subject was published in 1906. On a sea voyage to Europe in 1921, Raman curiously noticed the blue color of the glaciers and the Mediterranean. He was passionate to discover the reason for the blue color. Once Raman returned to India, he performed many experiments regarding the scattering of light from water and transparent blocks of ice. According to the results, he established the scientific explanation for the blue color of seawater and sky. There is a captivating event that served as the inspiration for the discovery of the Raman effect. Raman was busy doing some work on a December evening in 1927 when his student K.S. Krishnan gave him the news that Professor Campton had won the Nobel Prize on scattering of X-rays. This led Raman to have some thoughts. He commented that if the Compton effect is applicable for X-rays, it must also be true for light. He carried out some experiments to establish his opinion. The Raman effect is considered very significant in analyzing the molecular structure of chemical compounds. After a decade of its discovery, the structure of about 2,000 compounds had been studied. Thanks to the invention of the laser, the Raman effect has proved to be a very useful tool for scientists.
It's wonderful to be loved, but it's profound to be understood. That was a very fun and informative video.
Now, let us welcome Sidra to speak on few achievements of C.V. Raman sir.
Thank you, Devashri. The following are the honors and awards of C.V. Raman. He was a member He was appointed as a Fellow of the Royal Society in 1924 and knighted in 1929. He was awarded the Medici Medal in 1928, Hughes Medal in 1930, Franklin Medal in 1942, and was honored with the International Lenin Peace Prize in 1957. He was General President of the Indian Science Congress in 1929, President of the Indian Academy of Sciences, member of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences in 1961, and was awarded the Bharat Ratna. He was invited to the Conference of Nobel Prizemen in Physics and went to Russia twice to receive his International Lenin Peace Prize. Now I request Arifa to speak.
Thank you, Sidra. Finally, these are the references or resources pages. Arihan Modern Essays, Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman, a memoir, IJTRD CV Raman are 2 books and a PDF respectively that we have used in the presentation.
Thank you, Arifa. We, the students of Class 10, are honored to be a part of this program and celebrate the National Science Day with our teachers and dignitaries. Our team consists of 7 members, including students from Class 10J and 10C. These members are Arifa Fatima, Priyanshi Mehta, Sidra Fatima, Devi Shri, Serish Abir, Sania Akbar, and last but not least, Musfira Arif. Over to Devi Shri.
Thank you very much, Sania. Michael Jordan rightly quoted, "Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championship."
We thoroughly enjoyed this segment, and I bet the audience too.
Yes, let us give everyone a big round of applause for their invaluable hard work and dedication. Thank you very much. Over to Valiammai.
I wholeheartedly thank all the participants, for it was a remarkably interesting presentation. We enjoyed it immensely.
Biology helps us understand the living world and the ways its many species, including humans, function, evolve, and interact. Advances in medicine, agriculture, biotechnology, and many other areas of biology have brought improvements in the quality of life. To enlighten us about the interesting facts regarding this fascinating field of science, I call upon Zainab.
Good morning to one and all. I'm Zainab Parveen of Class 10 as a biology presenter. Today, we are going to talk about biotechnology and its uses in everyday life. My friends from various sections of Class 10 have prepared a few presentations to make the idea more clear. Molecular biology has routinely taken problematic things under its wing without altering core ideas. I would like to call Sadhna and Atisha from Class 10th A to present the topic Indian Contribution Towards Molecular Biology.
Good morning, this is Atisha.
And this is Sadhana.
From Class 10th A, and we'll be presenting on the topic Molecular Biology, India's contribution in this field and the current COVID-19 vaccines. Molecular biology is a branch of biology that concerns the molecular basis of biological activity in and between the cells, including molecular synthesis, modification, mechanisms, and interactions. The 2 important techniques of molecular biology are molecular cloning and polymerase chain reaction. Molecular cloning is a set of experimental methods that are used to assemble recombinant DNA molecules and to direct their replication within the host organism. Polymerase chain reaction, or PCR, is a method widely used to rapidly make millions to billions of copies of a specific DNA sample. Over to
Scientists play an important role in educating non-scientists about the content and process of science. One such Nobel laureate who inspired me is Venki Ramakrishnan. He is an Indian-born physicist and a molecular biologist. His laboratory of molecular biology published a 5.5 angstrom resolution structure of the 30S subunit using a method known as X-ray crystallography. He was awarded the 2009 prestigious Nobel Prize for Chemistry along with Thomas Shades and Ada Yonath for his research into atomic structure and function of cellular particles called ribosomes. He has received innumerable awards and titles from various organizations all over the world. The next topic is COVID-19 vaccine, the biggest pandemic that defines the global health crisis of our time and the greatest challenge we have faced since World War II is coronavirus COVID-19. COVID-19 is the new coronavirus that was identified through genetic sequences. Immunization is a simple, safe, and effective process to protect against diseases. Researchers are currently testing 73 vaccines in clinical trials on humans, and 21 have reached the final stages of testing. Over to Atisha for more information regarding vaccines.
In India, Bharat Biotech has successfully developed the first Covaxin vaccine for COVID-19 in collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR. India currently is at the second stage of the vaccine, with about 1.08% of the population, or 14,796,835 people, have been vaccinated the first dose in India. So let us be informed, be prepared, be smart, and be safe and ready to fight the COVID-19. Thank you, and back to Zainab.
Thank you, Atisha. Genes are like the story, and DNA is the language that the story is written in. I would like to call Akhila from 10th L to present the topic genome editing.
Genome editing. What is a genome? A gene consists of enough DNA to code for one protein, but a genome is simply the sum of an organism's DNA. What is genome editing? Genome engineering or gene editing is a type of genetic engineering in which DNA is inserted, deleted, modified, or replaced in the genome of a living organism. Now, what is genome editing used for? Genome editing is a method that lets scientists change the DNA of organisms. Editing DNA can lead to changes in physical traits like eye color and disease risk. Discovery of genome editing. Genome editing was first discovered in 2012 by American scientist Jennifer Doudna, French scientist Emmanuel Charpentier, and American scientist Feng Zhang. Nobel Prize achieved by scientists in 2020 are Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer A. Doudna for their work on genetic scissors. The technology has had a revolutionary impact in the life of scientists. It's contributing to new cancer therapies and may make dream of curing inherited disease come true, said by the Nobel Committee while announcing the prize. Now, how is genome editing done? Genome editing uses a type of enzyme called engineered nuclease, which cuts the genome in a specific way. Engineered nucleases are made up of two parts: a nucleus part that cuts the DNA, a DNA interacting part that is designed to guide the nucleus to a specific sequence of DNA. After cutting the DNA in a specific place, the cell will naturally repair the cut. We can manipulate this repair process to make changes or edits to the DNA in the location in the genome. Types of genome editing. The first one is small DNA change. When a part of DNA is cut, a cell will recognize the damage and repair it by itself. Example of small DNA changes are changing the DNA of African population will protect them against malaria. Second, removal of section of DNA. When a part of DNA is cut by the enzyme, the cell will recognize the damage, but by mistakenly join the wrong ends of the DNA, which is used in forensic science, in medical field, and drugs. Third, intersection of section of a DNA. When a part of enzyme is cut, the cell will recognize the damage, but it will join or repair the damage with a new DNA. Pros and cons. Advantage of genetic engineering: tackling and defeating diseases, extend lifespan, growth in food production and its quality. Disadvantage: potential harms to human health, production of new toxins, new allergies in the food supply. Conclusion: genetic engineers, pros and cons, give us an idea of its results. Thus, many countries and laws have already been put forward to bring the best output. With proper laws and control over its usage, it will definitely be a huge gift to humankind. Thank you. Over to Zainab.
Thank you, Akhila. The rewards for biotechnology are tremendous. To solve disease, eliminate poverty, age gracefully. I would like to call Kavya, Musfira, Dania, and Vedika from Class 10C to present the topic Contributions to Biotechnology for Human Welfare.
Biotechnology and development of food industry. Biotechnology can improve edibility, consistency, and shelf-life of food by preventing the growth of unwanted toxin-producing microorganisms naturally present in foods. Production of antimicrobial agents to kill undesirable putrefactive microorganisms. Here are few ways used in food preservation. Number 1, pasteurization. Number 2, fermentation. And number 3, canning. Number 1, pasteurization. It is a process in which packaged and non-packaged foods are treated with mild heat to eliminate pathogens and extend shelf life.
Now, you all must be wondering, how does pasteurization work? The exact process depends on the nature of the product. For example, liquids are pasteurized while flowing through a pipe along one section. Heat may be applied directly or using steam or hot water. Next, the liquid is cooled. The temperature and duration of the phases are carefully controlled. Now let's know what are its effects on food. Pasteurization greatly reduces the risk of food poisoning and extends shelf life by days or weeks. However, it does affect the flavor, texture, and nutritional value of foods.
Our second topic is fermentation. Fermentation is breaking down of sugar molecules into simpler compounds to produce substances that can be used in making chemical energy. Chemical energy in here is typically in the form of adenosine triphosphate, commonly known as ATP.
Let us know how fermentation works. Fermentation is similar to the kind of respiration that takes place when there isn't enough oxygen present, namely anaerobic respiration. However, unlike respiration, which uses pyruvic acid, fermentation leads to the production of different organic molecules like lactic acid, which also leads to adenosine triphosphate. Let us know its effect on food. Fermented foods have been associated with several positive health effects, including improved digestive health, stronger immunity, and increased availability of beneficial nutrients.
Our last but not least topic is canning. Canning involves cooking food, sealing it in sterile cans or jars, and boiling the container to kill or weaken any remaining bacteria as a form of sterilization.
Since we have seen how the fermentation and pasteurization work and its effect on food, let us see the same with canning. In canning, foods are processed thermally to remove targeted organisms and other food spoilage microorganisms. Foods like canned beans have high fiber content, and canned tomatoes contain significantly higher quantities of lycopene than fresh tomatoes.
I hope the topic was informative and you enjoyed our work. Thank you. Over to Musfira.
Thank you.
Good morning. Today I'll be speaking on the topic biotechnology for environment. What does biotechnology for environment mean? Environmental biotechnology is the branch of biotechnology that addresses environmental problems such as the removal of pollution, renewable energy, etc. How does it protect the environment? It protects by various processes. Bioremediation. Bio means living. Remediation means process of removing or correcting. Nature is full of microbes and microorganisms, which are both harmful and beneficial to us and exhibit symbiotic relationships to maintain the balance in our environment. Biosensors. Biosensors are devices that are used to detect the presence or concentration of a biological analyte, such as a biomolecule, a biological structure, or a microorganism. Biofuels. Depleting fossil fuel reserves continue to renew interest in the conservation of biomass to biofuel production. Biofuels are derived from renewable feedstocks that are environmentally friendly fuels with the potential to meet more than a quarter of world's demand for transportation fuels by 2050. Applications of biotechnology in environment. Environmental biotechnology plays a major role in producing renewable energy, controlling pollution, developing eco-friendly technique, purifying waste from factories, protecting biodiversity, and management of solid waste. Objectives of environmental biotechnology: to prevent, arrest, and reverse environment degradation through the appropriate use of biotechnology in combination with other technologies, while supporting safety procedures as a primary component of the program. The conservation of resources via the recycling of waste materials. The recoveries of more valuable products such as metals, oils, and vitamins are important aspects of this technology. Thank you. Over to Dania.
Good morning. Today I'm going to be speaking on the topic biotechnology in medical field. What is medical biotechnology? Medical biotechnology is a branch of medicine that uses living cells and cell materials to research and then produces pharmaceuticals and diagnosis products. It is the fusion of genetics, cell biology, and many other sciences in order to do further advancement in medicine. Major advancement of medical technology. First, CRISPR. CRISPR technology utilizes a protein called Cas9, which acts like a pair of molecular scissors and can cut DNA. There are many applications like correcting genetic defects, treating diseases, preventing the spread of disease, improving crops, and more. Tissue nanotransfection. Tissue nanotransfection works by injecting genetic code into skin cells, which turns those skin cells into the other types of cells required for treating diseases. Medical biotechnology has made this advancement possible, and the continued research and testing will only help improve this technology and adopt it across hospitals and medical centers. Third, recombinant DNA technology. Recombinant DNA technology is combining DNA molecules from two different species and then inserting that new DNA into a new host organism. That host organism will produce new genetic combinations for DNA, agriculture, and industry. The genetically modified products are able to perform better than the regular medicine. Importance of medical biotechnology. The medical biotechnology is an industrial setting where they use it to create enzymes to synthesize chemicals in an environment setting where they use it for waste and pollution prevention. Second, vaccines are also manufactured by using biotechnology, in which consists of three main ways. It aids scientists to separate pure antigen using specific monoclonal antibody, aids in synthesis of an antigen with the help of clone gene, and lastly, it also aids in the synthesis of peptides to be used as vaccine. Advantages and disadvantages of medical biotechnology. Advantages: it can improve health and reduce hunger simultaneously. It creates flexibility within food chains. It offers medical advancement opportunities. It can reduce infectious disease rates. It helps minimize or eliminate waste products. Disadvantages: it creates an all or nothing approach. It is a field of research with many unknowns. It could ruin croplands. It turns human life into a commodity. It can be used for destruction. Thank you. Over to Vedika.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Vedika Srinivas, is going to give a presentation on genetic engineering. Genetic engineering. One of the most amazing things is that all life uses the same DNA code to store its information and create proteins. Because all of life uses the same DNA code, we are now able to combine DNA from one species with another in order to produce proteins in new and different ways, which is revolutionizing in science and medicine. Isn't it amazing? Genetic engineering is also called genetic modification or genetic manipulation. It is the direct manipulation of an organism's genes using biotechnology. It is a set of technologies used to change the genetic makeup of cells, including the transfer of genes within and across species boundaries to produce improved or novel organisms. Applications of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering has applications in medicine, research, agriculture, and industry. Bacteria, the first organisms to be genetically modified, can have plasmid DNA inserted containing new genes that code for medicines or enzymes that process food and other substrates. Plants have been modified for insect protection, herbicide resistance, virus resistance, enhanced nutrition, tolerance to environmental pressures, and the production of edible vaccines. Genetically modified animals have been used for research, model animals, and the production of agriculture or pharmaceutical products. The advantages and disadvantages of human genetic engineering. Genetic engineering could increase the human lifespan, but it would change how we would need to approach the population control. We could get rid of hereditary diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's disease, etc., but it would reduce the amount of genetic diversity in the world. Food requirements could be changed through human genetic engineering, but it does not eliminate the risk of mistake happening. This technology could eliminate the fertility issues for couples, and every child would have a chance to be born healthy. But this technology would eventually allow for trait selection. Human genetic editing could lead to medical advancements, but there could be unintended side effects. This process could become the foundation of new weapon technologies. It could increase the risk of allergies. The two Indian scientists, Manjula Reddy and Dr. Mithali Chatterjee, got the National Academy of Science Award in 2020. Thank you. Over to Zainab.
Thank you, Vedika. Adolescence is when the very worst and best impulses. Adolescence is when the very worst and best impulses in the human soul struggle against each other for possession. I would like to call Arifa, Sidra, Fasila, and Prakruti from 10th J to speak on teenage psychology.
Good morning. I am Prakruti Modi. Today I am going to speak about psychology of a teenager. Introduction. The American Psychological Association periodically surveys for stress in the American public and surveys for stress. In the 2018 APA survey, teens reported worst mental health and higher level of anxiety and depression than all other groups. Teen depression. What is teen depression? Teen depression is a serious mental health problem that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest in activities. Symptoms of depression. Although depression can occur at any time in life, symptoms may be different between teens and adults. Issues such as peer pressure, academic expectations, and changing bodies can bring a lot of ups and downs for teens. But for some teens, the lows are more than just temporary feelings. They are a symptom of depression. Thank you. Over to Fasila.
Addiction is a special kind of hell. It takes the soul of addict and breaks the heart of everyone who loves them. Effects of alcohol and marijuana on teenagers' brain. Introduction. By the time they are seniors, almost 70% of high school students will have tried alcohol, half will have taken illegal drug, nearly 40% will have smoked a cigarette, and more than 20% will have used prescription drug for a non-medical purpose. These are some effects of drug use: anxiety, lack of appetite, confusion, hallucination, headaches, and all. The drug use affects mainly on lungs, large intestine, liver, and brain. Now I request Sidra to speak.
Thank you, Arifa. Stress and depression in a teenager. Adults commonly tell young people that teenage years are the best years of their life, yet many adolescent people go through stress and depression. We will watch a video to see how to control it.
It's not audible.
On forever.
Sadness.
Never try to hide your feelings when they surface. They are essential to our well-being, to be experienced.
You took something that you loved. It's gone forever.
Sadness. Don't make him feel worse.
Sorry.
It's all I had left of Riley.
I bet you and Riley had great adventures.
Oh, they were wonderful. Once we flew back in time, we had breakfast twice that day.
Sadness!
It sounds amazing. I bet Riley liked it.
Oh, she did. We were best friends.
Yeah, it's sad.
I'm okay now.
In regarding to this video, we can conclude that you shouldn't bottle up your emotion, but release them. Now I request Fasila to speak.
Finally, these are the research sources and resources and reference that we have used to design this PPT.
I thank all my team members for their enthusiastic cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you.
We cannot.
Valiamai, next you can call for the Perseverance rover. Nitya is ready.
Okay, ma'am.
Perseverance rover.
We can.
Alia, please take over.
Good morning to one and all. My name is Alia Fatma Ahmed from 10th H, and I will be touring with you on a short but wonderful and insightful journey into the world of physics. Physics is the backbone of all the technology we use today and all the technological innovations in the fields of medicine to space exploration to the advancements in the smartphone industry to driving in a smart car. Whether we talk about gravitational waves and space-time wrap or the elusive Higgs boson particle, deep space exploration vehicles, increased slice count in CT machines, virtual reality, and augmented reality, it's all physics. Physics is the categorization of science that deals with the structure of matter and the interactions between the fundamental constituents of the observable universe. Physics may seem easy to begin with, but it makes us understand the deepest roots of how things function and work around us. Not only does it require thorough understanding, but it also makes us question things around us systematically and logically. Physics is the reason we understand many things around us, from the technology that we are constantly surrounded by to the celestial bodies millions of light years away from us. And it is scientists that come up with all of these concepts that help us understand the world around us. Physics helps us to understand how the world around us works, from can openers, light bulbs, and cell phones to muscles, lungs, and brains. From paints, piccolos, and pirettes to cameras, cars, and cathedrals. From earthquakes, tsunamis, and hurricanes to quarks, DNA, and black holes. From the prosaic to the profound to the poetic. Physics deals with the fundamentals and helps us to see the connections between seemingly disparate phenomena. Physics gives us powerful tools to help us in expressing our creativity, to see the world in new ways, and then to change it. As Confucius once accurately quoted, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. This faultlessly describes not just physics alone, but the soul of science as a whole. We all remember how on 18 February we were all pinned to our screens, awaiting the news of the landing of the NASA Perseverance Mars rover, feeling the immense nationalist sentiment when the voice of Dr. Swati Mohan pierced the anticipating silence with a simple yet striking touchdown confirmed. To satiate our nostalgia, we will be seeing the engaging PPT presented and made by Nitya of 10th Edge.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nitya Singh and I'm from class 10th H. Today, I'll be presenting you all a PPT about Mars 2020 Perseverance. So, what is Mars 2020 mission? The Mars Perseverance rover mission is a part of NASA's Mars exploration program, a long-term effort of robotic exploration of the red planet. The mission takes the next step by not only seeking signs of habitable conditions on Mars in the ancient past, but also searching for signs of past microbial life itself. Let us look on the main goals of Perseverance rover. Goal 1. Determine whether life ever existed on Mars. The mission of Mars 2020 Perseverance rover focuses on the surface based on preserved signs of biosignatures in this microbial life have existed. Goal 3. Characterize the geology of Mars. The rover is designed to study the rock record to reveal more about geological processes that created and modified the Martian crust and surface through time. Goal 4. Prepare for human exploration. The Perseverance rover is demonstrating key technologies for using natural resources in the Martian environment for life support and fuel. Mars Perseverance launch. Here you can see a photo of Atlas V launch vehicle and a video of how Perseverance rover changed track. The blue line is Earth's orbit and the green one is Mars orbit and the pink one is Perseverance rover changing track. Ingenuity. Now let us look at the main features of Perseverance. Perseverance was designed with help of Curiosity engineers teams as both are quite similar and share common hardware. Perseverance, nicknamed Percy, is a car-sized Mars rover designed to explore the crater Jezero on Mars as a part of NASA's Mars 2020 mission. The power source of Perseverance is multi-mission radioscope thermoelectric generator, MMRTG, that converts heat from radioactive decay of plutonium into electricity. Now let us have a look on Perseverance structure. You can see that there is a Mustcam Z camera, which is a zoomable panoramic camera. Then we have a SuperCam laser microimager camera. Then we have a MEDA, which is a weather station that determines the weather of Mars. Then there is Sherlock, which is the ultraviolet spectrometer with the Watson camera along with it. Then there is Pixel, which is the X-ray spectrometer. Then we have MOXIE, which produces oxygen from Martian CO2. And then we have RIMFAX, which is a subsurface radar. Now, Ingenuity. Ingenuity is a robotic rotorcraft that is planned to be used to test the technology to scout target on Mars. The red planet has lower gravity, about 1/3 that of Earth, but its atmosphere is only 1% thick, making it much harder to generate lift. The helicopter could fly as high as 15 feet in altitude and as far as 160 feet downrange. It weighs only about 1.8 kilograms. Now let us have a look on the crater on which this Perseverance landed. Jezero crater. The diameter of the crater is 49 kilometers. Thought to have once been flooded with water, the crater contains Fan Delta deposit rich in clays. From a study of delta and channels, it was concluded that the lake inside the crater probably formed during a period in which there was continuous surface runoff. Here is a brief video of Perseverance landing.
Perseverance has now slowed to subsonic speeds and the heat shield has been separated. Skycam maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
We're getting signals from MRO. Tango Delta.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
That was a very interesting presentation.
Let's learn about a few quick facts about the Perseverance rover. The parachute in the picture you can see the parachute when unfurled revealed a seemingly random pattern of colors. NASA officials later said it contained a hidden message in binary codes. The code was "Dare mighty things" that was cracked by internet sleuths within hours. The next picture shows a family portrait of the rovers. The name Perseverance was given by a 7th grader. Indian connections. Scientists who played a huge role in the success of Mars Perseverance are Sanjeev Gupta, who controls this Mars rover Perseverance. Swati Mohan, about the whole landing journey was that of Dr. Swati Mohan. She is the guidance and control operation lead on the Mars 2020 mission. Narjan Vox, he is the engineering operation manager. Vanada Verma, chief engineer robotic operation. Bob Balaram, who is the Ingenuity mission. The Ingenuity has his brainchild. This was the first tweet shared by Perseverance. As a conclusion, I would like to say that, like Matt Damon in the movie Martian, maybe this decade will see the landing of humans on Mars. Maybe one day a human colony with one of us will be living there. Thank you. Over to Alia.
A most excellent job done by Nitya. Not only have we been briefed about the topic, but we have also understood it fully. Now I would like to hand the floor back to Valyamai.
That was a very impressive presentation. Thank you for sharing the knowledge with us. Many of the fundamental changes we observe in the world around us are caused by chemical reactions. It is ever intriguing to unravel the conceptual mysteries of chemistry. The quality of life that we can achieve is due to the scope and discoveries that the study of applied chemistry has given us. To enhance our knowledge of this enrapturing branch of science, I call upon Priyanshi and Devishri.
Thank you, Valyamai. Chemistry is fun. It can be used to make color flames, make things glow in the dark, or even make stuff explode. Distinguished dignitaries, a very warm good morning to one and all.
It's me, Devishri, with my enthusiastic partner, Priyanshi, with you all. It is our pleasure to be the anchors of this segment. Honestly, Priyanshi, I love atoms. I heard they make up everything. Get it?
Oh, good. Women have made major contributions to the sciences for centuries. If you look around, you will see evidence of their work everywhere, from the clothing we wear to the x-rays used in hospitals.
So let's now know about few great female scientists and their contributions to this world. In the honor of these scientists, we will portray their journey in science while dressing up like them. Now, let us call Musfira, Akifa, and Sneha from class 10C to speak about Janaki Ammal ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Sneha Patel, here to present you about the contribution of Indian lady scientists in the field of science and technology, Janaki Ammal. Janaki Ammal was an Indian botanist who worked on plant breeding, cytogenetics, and phytogeography. Her most notable work involves eggplant and sugarcane. She also worked on the cytogenetics of a range of plants and co-authored the Chromosome Atlas of Cultivated Plants with C.D. Darlington. She obtained a master's degree in botany in 1926 with a Barber Scholarship. Her thesis was titled Chromosome Studies in the Nicandra Physaloids. The university also awarded her an honorary LLD in 1956. Impressed by her work, the Royal Horticulture Society invited Janaki to work as an assistant cytologist at their campus at Wisley. The Government of India conferred the Padma Shri on her in 1977. The Ministry of Environment and Forestry of the Government of India instituted the National Award of Taxonomy in her name in 2000. Janaki Ammal believed that it was through her work that she should be remembered. So the next time you see a spoonful of sugar grown by a sugarcane farmer, remember that it was Dr. Janaki Ammal who added extra bit of sweetness. Thank you. Over to Devishri.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now let us call Devishri from class 10th J to cosplay Aisha El-Safti ma'am.
If you know you're on the right track, if you have this inner knowledge, then nobody can turn you off, no matter what they say. Good morning to all. I'm Aisha El-Safti from Egypt. Can you believe I'm a computer scientist now? I specialized in ad hoc networking. I came across many struggles and obstacles in my journey. Since I'm not only a girl child, but also from an Orthodox family, studying in college itself was unimaginable. Finally, I did my PhD research at the University of Cambridge. Today, I feel elated and proud to speak in front of you. My research provided a solution in connecting computers, mobile phones, and other communicational devices through wireless networks and technologies in dynamic conditions. Friends, so give your hand in developing the world. Thank you, and back to Priyanshi.
Thank you very much, Devishri. Devishri, once two atoms are walking down the street and they ran into each other. A says, B, are you all right? B says, no, I lost an electron. A asks, are you sure? B states, yeah, I'm positive.
Wow, that's great. Now, let us have Ridal Nizam and Anand Fatima from 10th H to speak about Rajeshwari Chatterjee ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Rajeshwari Chatterjee, born in Karnataka, was an Indian scientist and academic. She was the first woman engineer from Karnataka with significant contributions in the field of microwave and antenna engineering. Rajeshwari married Sisir Kumar Chatterjee, a faculty of Indian Institute of Science. After her MSc, she joined the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, as the research student in the then Electrical Technology Department. In 1953, she obtained her PhD degree and successfully completed her studies. Chatterjee received the position of chairman in the then Department of Electrical Communication Engineering. While teaching electromagnetic theory and experimenting on electron tube circuits and microwave technology, she guided 20 PhD students while publishing over 100 research papers and 7 books on microwave engineering. Together with her husband, they introduced courses in microwave technology and satellite communication and were the first to teach the subject in India. Her contributions to microwave research are still used in radar radio detection and ranging technology and defense applications. She was rewarded with many awards, which includes Mummadi Krishnaraja Wadayar Award, M.T. Narayana Iyengar Prize, and many more. The Electrical Communication Engineering Department is honored to be part of Professor Rajeshwari Chatterjee's journey pursuit of excellence in engineering. Her stellar contributions to the department will be remembered with a lot of pride. Thank you, and over to Devishri.
Thank you very much.
Now let's invite Sheza Fatima and Hafsa Harmeen from class 10th F to speak about Anju Chadha ma'am.
जो अपने कदमों की काबिलियत पर विश्वास रखते हैं वो ही अक्सर मंजिल पर पहुंचते हैं. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Hafsa Harman, along with Sheza Fatima, present you a slideshow on the Indian scientist Anju Chadha. She is an Indian biochemist. She is an Indian biochemist and professor at Indian Institute of Technology, working in the fields of enzyme mechanism, enzyme in organic synthesis, asymmetric synthesis using enzyme, chirotechnology, green chemistry, and biosensors.
Born in Ahmednagar, Maharashtra, she graduated in Noroswaji Wadia College, postgraduated from University of Pune, and PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. The magnificence of nature's design and enchanting diversity of living things always attracted her. She spent some time in the bioorganic laboratory as a postdoctoral at the National Institute of Health, Bethesda, USA.
She understood the need for green catalyst, an enzyme, while working in European industries. So she set up a bioorganic laboratory and continued her research in India. Chadha is a lifetime member of the Indian Society of Bioorganic Chemists, the Chemical Research Society of India, and the Indian Institute of Science Alumni Association, Bangalore. She is an elected member of Madras Science Foundation.
In 1992, she also received the Fellow Alexander von Humboldt Award.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to Priyanshi.
Thank you. Devishri, what do you do with a sick chemist?
What?
Well, if you can't heal him and you can't cure him, then you might as well bury him.
Wow, what a nice creative joke. Great. Now, let us have Hafsa Salahuddin from 10th L to cosplay Ma'am Asima Chatterjee.
I am an Indian organic chemist noted for my work in the field of organic chemistry and phytomedicine. My most notable work includes research on vinca alkaloids, the development of anti-epileptic, and the development of anti-malarial drugs. I also authored a considerable volume of work on medicinal plants of the Indian subcontinent. I was the first woman to receive a doctorate of science from an Indian university. My research made significant contributions to modern chemotherapy treatment. In 1975, I was awarded with Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian award by the Government of India. I was honored by the Bengal Chamber of Commerce as the Woman of the Year for my scientific contribution. I became the first lady scientist to be elected as the General President of the Indian Science Congress Association. Thank you, and over to you, Pallavi.
Thank you. Now, let's invite Priyanshi Mehta from 10th J to speak and cosplay Ma'am Darshan Ranganathan.
Hello everyone. I am Darshan Ranganathan, an Indian female organic chemist. I was born on 4th June 1941 in Delhi. I acquired my education in my birthplace, Delhi, and received a PhD in chemistry. I was known for my pioneering work in protein folding and mainly recognized for my monumental contribution to bioorganic chemistry. I received the 1851 Research Fellowship from the Royal Commission for the exhibition of 1851, which enabled me to conduct postdoctoral work. I carried out research work in supramolecular assemblies, molecular design, chemical simulation of key biological processes, synthesis of functional hybrid, peptides, and synthesis of nanotubes. I was known to have discovered several DNA cleaving agents. After several tries, I was able to demonstrate salient features of the Krebs cycle in the laboratory. I co-authored several important organic chemistry books which have helped millions of students across the world. The biennial Professor Darshan Ranganathan Memorial Lecture was established in my memory in 2001. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanshi. Priyanshi, do you know what's Iron Man's favorite amusement park ride?
What?
The Ferris wheel.
Oh, Ferris and Iron, good. Now let's call Shreya Parvati and Shreya Pradhan from class 10th F to speak about Kamala Sohani ma'am.
Wishing you all a very warm good morning. Myself Shreya Pradhan.
And myself Shreya Parvati from 10th F. We are here to present a slideshow on the life of a great biochemist, Kamala Sohani. So who was Kamala Sohani?
Kamala Sohani, born on 18 June 1911, was a pioneering Indian biochemist and was the first Indian woman to receive a doctorate.
Kamala Sohani at her time was the most significant role model for Indian women and still continues to be the same.
Her early life and education. Kamala Sohani, whose native was Indore, Madhya Pradesh, was born into a family of chemists.
She did her BSc at Bombay University and graduated as a university topper, thus gaining an EC admission at IISc Bangalore.
In 1933, Soni applied for IISc. A year later, she began doing regular biochemical research at IISc.
Her career. At Cambridge, Sohani studied plant tissues and from her work on potatoes, discovered an enzyme, cytochrome C, which is found in plants, animals, and human cells.
In 1939, she returned to India and worked as the head of the Department of Biochemistry at Lady Hardinge College, and she later went on to become the Assistant Director of Nutrition Research Laboratory, Coonoor.
Her achievements. One of the greatest achievements of Dr. Sohani was that she was presented with the Rashtrapati Award by the President of India for her incredible and innovative research on sap extracts of various palm trees called Neera.
Kamala Soni had a heroic end. She was successful in her career as a research scientist, teacher, social worker, and whatnot.
At the age of 84, she was invited to felicitate an impressive ceremony in New Delhi. Ironically, at the ceremony, Kamala Sohani collapsed. What better end could one wish for such a renowned personality?
Thank you, and over to Priyanshi.
Thank you.
Now, please help me welcome Pallavi from 10th L to cosplay Ma'am Nandini Harinath.
Good morning. I am Nandini Harinath, a rocket scientist at the Indian Space Research Organization Satellite Center, Bangalore. My first exposure to science was the popular series Star Trek on television. In 20 years of work in ISRO, I worked in more than 14 missions. Following a tremendous progress over the years, now I'm the project manager for mission design and also extended as Deputy Operations Director on the Mars Orbiter mission Mangalyaan, where I successfully controlled the Mars Orbiter. I never ever thought of working in the ISRO from my childhood, because for me at that point of time, I would just watch science fiction movies or read books. Me, along with my sportive team, was successful in sending a satellite to Mars in less than a year, and thus Mission Mangalyaan was accomplished. Many countries failed in their first tries, but we were not disheartened. We didn't accept that. All of you should have a dream, but make sure you have the passion to drive the dream. You have to be persistent. Thank you. Over to Devashri.
Thank you. Priyanshi, what's the difference between cooking and chemistry?
What?
Well, in chemistry, you should never lick the spoon.
Of course. And now, Noor and Afreen will present a PPT on the contribution of Indian women scientists.
Good morning to one and all. This is Noor along with Afreen, and today we are going to talk on the contribution of Indian women scientists, Dr. Ritu Srivastava and Anna Mani. Over to you, Afreen.
Anna Mani. Anna Mani was an Indian physicist and a meteorologist. She retired as the Deputy Director General of the Indian Meteorological Department and further served as a visiting professor at the Raman Research Institute. Following her vision to make India dependent in weather instruments, she set up a network of stations to measure solar radiation and small workshops that manufactured instruments for the purpose of measuring wind speed and solar energy. She also set up an apparatus to measure the ozone and was an active member of the International Ozone Association. She set up a meteorological observatory and an instrumentation tower at the Thumba rocket launching facility. In 1987, she was a recipient of the INSA, Indian National Science Academy, K.R. Ramanathan Medal. The World Meteorological Organization remembered her on her 100th birth anniversary and published her life profile along with Anna interview. Now, Noor will introduce Dr. Ritu Haridhar Srivastava.
Dr. Ritu Haridhar Srivastava. Dr. Ritu Haridhar Srivastava is an Indian scientist working in the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. She is also referred as the Rocket Woman of India. As a child, Ritu was very interested in outer space. She wondered about the moon. She studied the stars and wanted to know what lay behind the dark space. She started collecting newspaper cuttings about any space-related activity and kept track of the activities of ISRO and NASA. Ritu has been working for ISRO since 1997. She has played a key role in the development of India's Mars orbiter mission, Mangalyaan. She dealt with the detailing and the execution of the craft's onboard autonomy system. She was the Deputy Operations Director of this mission. Ritu has received the ISRO Young Scientist Award in 2007 from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. She has also presented at TED and TEDx events describing the success of the Mars orbiter mission. Thank you, and over to you, Devashree.
Thank you. Many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Let us chase our dreams like all great scientists and mark our presence in this world of molecules. Shall we?
Absolutely. All our young scientists were beyond incredible. I could not take my eyes off the screen, and I bet the audience too. It was truly a pleasure being a part of this grand event. Our sincere gratitude to Aisha Nagita ma'am, Archana ma'am, Najmu ma'am, and Shamna ma'am for guiding us throughout.
Let us give everyone a thunderous round of applause for their invaluable dedication and contribution. Thank you very much. I now return the lectern back to Valia May.
Thank you, Devashree and Priyanshi. It was definitely one of a kind. It was highly informative.
Now I call upon Alia for physics presentation.
How do our mobiles know what we'll be writing in succession when in conversation? Artificial intelligence is the reason as to how our time is being saved every day by machines doing the side work that would take a long time when done by us alone. With the advancement in the technological know-how, computers have upgraded in a way that they're a step ahead, just like us humans. To view this and understand it on a better level, we will be seeing the presentation prepared by Adina Jobi on artificial intelligence.
I'm able to find that someone else is sharing the screen, so I'm not able to save. Devashree. Thank you. Good morning, one and all. My name is Adina Jobi. Today, let's see what is artificial intelligence and its applications. So, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a wide-ranging branch of computer science concerned with building smart machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. The capacity given to machines by human beings to memorize and learn from experiences, to think and create, to speak, to judge and make decisions is called artificial intelligence. Any technique which enables computers to mimic human behavior is termed as AI. There are 4 types of artificial intelligence that we can find around the world. This includes reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind, and self-aware. So what is reactive machines? Reactive machines are basic in that they do not store memories or use past experiences to determine future action. They simply perceive the world and react to it. The best example is IBM's Deep Blue machine, which defeated the grandmaster in chess, Kasparov. This cannot memorize any moves that was done before or improve with practice, but simply perceive the chess pieces on board and react. Now let's see what is the second type of artificial intelligence. Limited memory. Unlike reactive machines, Limited memory can extract knowledge from previously learned information, facts, stored data, or events. Every machine learning models are made by limited memory, but they can be deployed to reactive machines. One of the examples for limited memory is the self-driving cars. They use limited memory to detect traffic lights, read road signs, track other vehicles, and to look for pedestrians. The third kind of artificial intelligence is theory of mind. Theory of mind is used in artificial intelligence. They can understand the emotions of the people around, and they will be able to differentiate between various emotions of the people. This is being highly used in the self-driving cars. Now, the fourth and the last type of artificial intelligence is self-aware AIs. They can represent themselves, and they know what they are made up of, they know what they are constituted of, and they are well aware of themselves. The best example of self-aware artificial intelligence is the first humanoid robot, Sophia. Now let's see what are the examples of artificial intelligence that we use in our day-to-day life. The first and the most commonly used one is the Google search itself. Google search engines is driven by algorithms which help us to get answers for our queries in the form of audios, videos, pictures, and write-ups. And the second comes smart assistants. Smart assistants are the devices like Siri and Alexa, which most of us have at our homes, to which we have access in form of certain devices and in our phones. Disease mapping and prediction tools, along with optimized personalized healthcare treatment recommendations, are given by artificial intelligence to recognize diseases, especially the presence of cancerous cell prior in human beings. Manufacturing and drone robots are used widely in manufacturing sectors to reduce the work efforts and to increase the efficiency. Conversation bots for marketing and customer service, robot advisors for stock trading are used for increasing our profit levels, especially in our stock markets. Spam filters on email, social media monitoring tools for dangerous content or false news is used in the communication sector to avoid incoming of any unwanted and viral infected inboxes. The last one is the self-driving cars. They are not found widely in our society at present, but is expected to arrive shortly in a wide range. Now let's see what is the role of artificial intelligence in our educational sector. Personalized learning is made highly possible by AI. Artificial intelligence can automate basic activities in education like grading. AI can shortlist candidates on the basis of multiple data points. Educational software can be adapted to students' needs. It can point out places where courses need to improve. Grading, homework, and tests for large courses is a tedious task which can be done easily by AI. It can also improve the students where the students are lagging behind, and hence by helping the students to improve in the subjects in which they are lagging behind. AI makes it a lot easier for teachers and management to keep track of how well or poorly the students are performing. Such systems can be used to deal effectively with the vast volume of data and statistics that these schools and colleges normally have. They can use these to create definite reports that help them to understand the progress being made by various students. AI is a sector which is rapidly developing and has already started to change our world. Let us expect AI to change our world more tomorrow to decrease the efforts taken by human being. As it is said, artificial intelligence is the last invention that humanity will ever need to make. Thank you, and over to you, Alia.
A superb explanation by Adina that has left us eager to learn more about AI and its current developments. Imagine waking up one day with no fresh water or electricity. Even without this happening in actual reality, the thought itself terrifies us. Using resources without giving thought about saving for the future will result in absolute chaos for the coming generations. Conservation of energy is required for us to be able to grow better in the future, better than we are today. Without harming the requirements of the generations to come, multiple governments and industries have only one goal and priority now, which is preserving energy. Now we will be seeing an innovative presentation made by Arshia of 10C on energy conservation.
Good morning. Today we are going to talk on the topic conservation of energy. First question, what is conserving energy? Energy conservation is the effort made to reduce the consumption of energy by using less of an energy service. This can be achieved either by using energy more efficiently or by reducing the amount of service used. Energy conservation is a part of concept of eco-sufficiency. Let us have a quick look on types of non-renewable energy. This includes petroleum, coal, natural gas, and nuclear energy. More focus is done to conserve non-renewable resources because these resources, once used, can't be replenished. As a citizen of the world, it is our prime responsibility to conserve nature and minimize environmental pollution. Here are some ways to conserve energy. First method, the 3R principle: reduce, reuse, and recycle for a happier earth. Some other ways includes switching on to renewable resources for environmental and economic benefits because it generates energy that produces no greenhouse gas emissions and can reduce some type of air pollution. Use less water, turn off lights when not needed. Composting. Compost is a decomposition of organic material. It is used to recycle organic waste. Try to buy reusable and eco-friendly goods. Manage thermostat so you can save energy and keep cost in check by keeping your thermostat at right temperature. For example, keeping your AC on high temperature unnecessarily would consume more energy, so make sure you're keeping your ACs and refrigerators at right temperature. Thrift shop is basically second-hand market. This would help in reusing goods and saving money. Use public transport so you can save petrol and diesel, hence saving money and reducing environmental pollution. Why should we conserve energy? Humans rely on natural resources for survival, but not all natural resources are renewable. The food and water we consume, the air we breathe, and the shelter we make all derive from natural resources. So we must take steps to conserve what we have to encourage the health and longevity of both the planet and humankind. Human activity, mainly the use of non-renewable resources like fossil fuel, is responsible for massive spike in climate change. By conserving our natural resources, we can reduce greenhouse gas emission and have more positive impact on our natural environment. At last, I want to say, every act of energy conservation is more than just common sense. I tell you, it is an act of patriotism. Thank you.
A marvelous PPT done by Arshia, which helps us realize how we can be doing better than what we are today, with only minimal changes done by us so as to conserve energy and advance into a healthier future. Have you ever seen how in a room filled with smoke, the light entering through a window may seem scattered? This is because of a beautiful phenomenon of light. To understand this better, we will be seeing an illustration of the scattering of light and Tyndall effect to show how light is scattered by air molecules. To further understand this spectacular manifestation, we will see a presentation by Anmol of 10J.
A very good morning to all. I am Anmol Patel of class 10J and we'll be discussing on the topic Tyndall effects. This is an example of Tyndall effect through the canopy of a forest. When sunlight penetrates into the forest, the red and the blue light having larger and shorter wavelengths respectively get scattered by the dust particles in the environment of the forest and reaches our eyes in the form of a beam of white light. And this is how we see the Tyndall effect. This phenomenon is also applicable for the blue color of the sky and the water. Thank you. Over to Alia.
This couldn't have been better presented and done and carried out by anyone other than Anmol herself. When we look up at the sky on a cloudless night, we are able to detect stars, but in reality, the position that we may think is where the stars are isn't the real positioning of the stars. With the constant change in the mediums through which the light travels, what we see isn't the actual position of the star. Noor of 10th L will be providing us an insight on this by a small but captivating puppetry.
Good morning, everyone. This is Noor, and today I am going to state the science behind why do stars appear higher than their actual position.
Why do stars appear higher than their actual position? As the starlight enters the Earth's atmosphere, it undergoes refraction continuously before it reaches the Earth's surface. This refraction occurs due to gradual changing refractive index of air. As the starlight enters from rarer medium to comparatively denser medium, it bends more and more towards the normal. Thus, the apparent position of the star is slightly higher than the actual position when viewed from the Earth's surface.
Thank you, and over to you, Alia.
A splendid execution done by Noor. And here I believe we were done for the morning with the outstanding performances, but it seems like they're lined up one after the other. As per the guidelines of CBSE to include art integrated project work to make our learning joyful and experiential, we the class 10 students were allotted the topic dispersion and scattering of light. Here's a glimpse at our artwork compiled by Tasneem of 10th Edge.
Good morning, one and all. My name is Tasneem, and today I am going to show the beautiful art done by students of class 10th.
Taslim, there is no sound.
A splendid execution by Tasneem. Really, no one could have done it better. We, the physics team, would like to give a heartfelt thank you to all our diligent and tireless teachers for their hard work and faith in us. Not only have they shown us how to conduct a showcase, but also taught us how to enjoy it on our way. Alas, we must accept the end of something in order to begin to build something new. The performances were very enlightening and entertaining. We did not only enjoy, but we were also able to grasp onto the concepts even further. A splendid showcase done by all and evidence that hard work pays off. Now we will be seeing the presentation prepared by Sadia of 10th Edge. I hand the reins over to Zainab.
I call upon Zainab for the biology presentation.
Thank you, Waliamai. We cannot live only for ourselves. 1,000 fibers connect us with our fellow men. I would like to call Fatima, Sana, Bushra, and Mariam from 10th F to present why organ transplant.
Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is why organ transplant. The first thing which reaches our mind when we hear organ transplant is what is an organ transplant? An organ transplant is a medical procedure which depends on two people, the recipient and the donor. Why an organ transplant? An organ transplant is needed when the recipient organ has been failed. This is caused due to an injury or an illness. And who and why and how many people need these? Each day, every day, at least 114,000 people are waiting for an organ. At least 10 people are added every day. Who are the people who give these donations? An organ donation has two types, live donors and disease donors. Every year, nearly 500,000 people in India die because there's a scarcity on organ donors. I'll give on to Bushra.
Live donation. Live donations occur when a living person wishes to donate organs to some immediate family in need. Disease donation. Disease donation involves taking organs from a person who has just died. The organ can be taken only if the deceased person has registered his or her wish for the donation. The organs which can be donated are lungs, heart, liver, intestine, kidneys, and pancreas. Donors can be of any age. In 1954, the first ever successful transplant of any organ was done at the Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. The surgery was done by Dr. Joseph Murray, who received the Nobel Prize in Medicine for his work. Over to Sana.
Risks of organ transplant. When a person needs an organ transplant, it is because one of their organ is working very poorly or failing. Organ transplants are mainly due to genetic conditions such as polycystic kidney disease, cystic fibrosis, or a heart defect. Benefits. The benefits of an organ transplant depend on an organ a person receives. Some benefits may include avoiding medical procedures such as dialysis, correcting congenital disabilities that endanger a person's life. Some risks associated with transplant are complications related to the use of anesthesia, including death, post-surgical complications, other illnesses due to anti-rejection or transplant-related drugs, organ rejection or organ failure. Over to Mariam.
Survival rate. For lungs, 50 to 60% for at least 5 years, liver, 75% for at least 5 years, kidney, 95% at 1 year and around 90% at 3 to 5 years, eye, 79.6%, heart, 85%. Substitution methods. Some methods which are used instead of organ transplant are dialysis instead of kidney transplant, A kidney transplant is often preferable to dialysis. Second, some people who cannot have a heart transplant, another option may be a ventricular assist device, VAD. Thank you so much. Over to Zainab.
Thank you.
Thank you for the exquisite presentation. It was worth seeing.
Teachers encourage minds to think, hands to create, and hearts to love. I would like to conclude by thanking my respected biology teachers, Mrs. Farah Jafri ma'am, Mrs. Sabanjum ma'am, Mrs. Tabinta Rashid ma'am, Mrs. Rumana Nigar ma'am, and Mrs. Namuna Suhana ma'am for the hard works and efforts and support. Thank you. Over to William Mai.
It is because of the efforts of all our managing committee members that we have surpassed excellence in both scholastic and non-scholastic areas. It is my magnificent pleasure and honor to invite our assiduous managing committee member, Dr. Ashma ma'am, to address our gathering today.
Ma'am, you're muted.
Ma'am, please unmute. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Well, we just surpassed the time as well for the Salah time. In the first place, I would like to say that being ordinary is taxing. And being that's the reason why the students for today's, Science Day, they have proved themselves to be different from the rest. So that's the reason why I would say that being ordinary is too taxing, and you have chose to be quite different from the rest of the people, from the rest of the schools and all, and that's quite commendable. And I was just going through all those, PPTs and the video links, and I was quite, enchanted, and I wanted to stay for some more time to go through, because there was like a kind of craving for me to learn more and more, basically because I'm from the arts background and not from science. And this has just taken me like a journey into the world of science. And it gives me pleasure and it gives me the honor. And on top of that, I would also say that I could have this indefinable experience of just being present here. And that truly surpasses everything. What I would like to say is that try to stick to the time. It just went beyond the Salah time. And next time, let's start it a bit earlier. We can just start even at 10 o'clock, if it's not online, because we have everything is unpredictable. We don't know how it is going to be. Maybe from next year, maybe we might be having the, face-to-face communication, not to go with an online mode. Inshallah, that's what we hope and pray for. And in addition, I was starting with the kind of presentations that the students have done, starting from molecular biology. I mean, I could just name a few, then about the genomes, and then about artificial intelligence, about Mars, and then the other things. I just jotted a few of them. There were certain things, about biotechnology, that was very interesting. Then again, a group of students have done it as a team. Where what was the other one? Organ transplant. This was very, very good enough. And all these areas are really rich and ripe for research. So you can just try to, navigate through these areas even in your future, science. If you are a science enthusiast, you can try to navigate these areas. And something to learn about the scientist himself. That is Professor C.V. Raman. Well, I have seen the picture of Mr. C.V. Raman, I mean the statue of Mr. C.V. Raman, standing right in front of the physics department of Andhra University right from my childhood. So I've seen his statue, which, even if you have to enter into the physics department, and this is in Visakhapatnam, Andhra University, where I've seen his statue right from his childhood. I used to wonder when his nose is too long and he looks like something, a dignified person and all. But only when I got to get into school later, and then we started studying science subjects. Then I came to know about the luminary presence, or how great he was as a scientist. And of course, being conferred with that Nobel Prize was, I think it was hard work it was truly hard work. But then again, it was a cakewalk for him, because he was such an intelligent and, dynamic personality. And we are proud as Indians to have such a such a greatest person. And the way this, and yeah, one more thing to add is that, yeah, the name of the school, I do remember that St. Aloysius Anglo-Indian High School from Visakhapatnam, from where he had studied, those 10 years where he had studied, and that is especially for boys, that's cool. So his, educational background, and then a brief bio about him, and then his achievements, and on top of that, some of the girls, getting themselves into the skin of the shoes of some of the scientists, especially the women scientists, and portraying themselves as a scientist. That was a very good and a brilliant idea, which I literally liked it. Maybe I can just even I can take a cue from this, and for that I need to applaud the teachers, because the teachers have given them good tips how to move on with this presentation, whether it is the PowerPoint presentation or the video links that they have shared, or the manner they have presented in, themselves as each and every personality. That is quite applaudable. So the hard work, and your hard work, your teachers' hard work, it is reflected in the way you have presented. And I wouldn't just say that it's a fabulous performance. I would say it was or it is a fantabulous performance put up by the students. With that note, I would like to, end. But before I end speaking, I would like to just give an advice to the Vice Principal, Mrs. Aisha Tazeen. Do we have teachers or principals, science teachers or principals from other schools who have been invited for this Science Day?
No, ma'am. We have just decided to have this day on 28th. We have decided and took permission from sir. And in the 4 days, they have done the preparations, and yesterday was the rehearsal. Today they have done it finally. So I did not invite, only the teachers, senior secondary teachers, and VPs and HMs and MCs being invited here.
Okay. I mean, we can have that on our notepad. Maybe next time we can invite them.
Definitely, ma'am. With the permission of principal, sir, I will definitely do this.
Sure. That's an initial, and as an academic committee member, I would think that it's a good initiative. You need to invite, because they can also, know the kind of, capacity our students are and where do they stand. And in addition to that, they would learn, their students or their, faculty members also, because every day is a learning experience for us. So yes, I would just say that. And with that,
I have noted it down. Next time we shall take it. Yes, I have noted it down.
Yeah. Okay. And I would like to even, wish the science enthusiasts who are there, who would like to take science in their future courses, I would like to go for that. Okay, I wish you and all the very best to where you can try to empower and enhance your scientific zeal. In fact, my scientific zeal, which was, a small component of it, which was just hidden right somewhere, it just emerged out in today's presentations. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. And I thank you in the teachers as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your sagacious words, ma'am. Your words will be valued forever.
It is time to gratify the efforts of those who have worked tirelessly to organize this event. I would like to call upon today's in charges, Archana ma'am and Rumana ma'am, to present the vote of thanks.
Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. Honorable Member of Managing Committee, Dr. Ashma Shamail, esteemed Principal, Dr. Naushad Ali, respected Vice Principal, Girls Section, Mrs. Aisha Tazeen, Senior Most Teacher, Mrs. Sarabai Saifuddin, all the beloved colleagues of Senior Secondary Section, and dear students, a very good morning to one and all. Today, myself, Mrs. Rumana Nigar, and Mrs. Archana Sharma are present before you to express our heartiest gratitude to the beautiful gathering in front of us. First of all, we would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Ashma Shamail, Honorable Member of the Managing Committee, for his remarkable presence and constant motivation. We would also like to express our heartfelt thank you to our very diligent and far-sighted principal, Dr. Naushad Ali. Thank you, sir, for being such a solid support in everything we do. We would like to acknowledge the great contribution of Mrs. Aisha Tazeen, the pillar of girls section. A big thank you to you, ma'am, for constantly supporting us in organizing this event. Over to Archana.
Our special and heartfelt thanks, of course, to Mr. Nadeem Ullah, Master of IT Department, for being a big technical help for smooth functioning of the program. We would like to mention Mrs. Sarabhai Saifuddin, the senior most teacher. We thoroughly enjoyed your presence and guidance, ma'am. Team spirit is the best spirit. An event like this cannot take place overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. Now it's time to extend our heartfelt thank you to very beautiful, energetic, and cooperative colleagues of Science Department, whose progressive efforts are inevitable in framing this program. Last but not the least, we joyfully express a big thank you to our very enthusiastic and agile students who won the hearts of everyone with their wonderful presentations. Once again, thank you one and all. Have a nice day.
Once again, I wish you all a blissful, happy National Science Day. Let the scientific curiosity always stay with us. Please note that the link for the Google form will be shared and it will be open just for an hour. And with this, we end today's program.
Yes. Dear children, those who are there on the YouTube, those who are listening to me, and those who are there in this meeting, please be noted that very soon I am sharing the Google form. 20 questions are there. If you pass the test, you will get the certificate. So please write the correct email ID. As soon as you submit, within seconds, you will get your certificate if you pass that. And all the questions I have framed based upon the program. So if you have seen the program very carefully, I am sure you will score 100 out of 100. Wish you all the best. You can do it. Okay. I shall just send after this program. After ending this meeting, I will go back to my system and I will release the Google form link. Please do the needful. Thank you. Principal sir, our program is over.
Is that a quiz?
Yes, ma'am, Google form. Yes, MCQ quiz, ma'am, Google form.
Okay, it's for the students only?
Yes, ma'am, it is only for class 10
students. Oh,
students.
so sorry. I thought I could grab a certificate.
Not for principal, not for committee member, only for
oh,
students.
So sorry. Okay.
Well done,
but anyways,
well
it was just like reviving our memories, our school memories, and where do we stand in science. This was just a curiosity that I had, a curious thing that I felt.
Yeah, that was the aim to revise this program. That was the aim.
Anyways, that's a nice initiative. That's a good idea that you could give them the quiz where they could, know where they would stand. That's so nice of you. And thank you, Dr. Naushad Ali, for encouraging. Now, Dr. Naushad Ali, I have one thing to ask you. Why don't we have, as an academic member, I would say that why don't we have both boys and girls section fused together to have one science day? Why is it that only the girls are seen everywhere?
No,
what about the boys section?
It is good idea, good suggestion.
Yeah.
So I will discuss with the VP boys.
Yes. We could have we can have a conglomeration of both boys and girls making their presentations on a science day if it's online. Of course, if it is physical presence, we can't club them, but on an online platform, I think we can do that.
Okay, madam. Future.
Okay. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, Aisha, madam, well done.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Wonderful program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your guidance, sir. It was only because of your go ahead we have gone ahead.
Madam,
I told you, my research work is based on the laser Raman.
Yes.
I think this is one of the best program, the pin drop silence from all the participants.
Alhamdulillah. They followed netiquette. I told you in the beginning.
Mr. Nadimullah.
Yes, madam.
Mr. Nadimullah, thank you so much for your participation. And marhaba, welcome to the kingdom.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the kingdom. Actually, you said that the program, as you said, that's true. That was one point I missed out. The girls, I mean, the pin drop silence and all. Why, you know?
Yes.
They are self-disciplined by themselves. You don't have to try to correct them. They know how to, you know, manage the show very well. So a good, you know, the applause for the girls, for the students.
Yeah.
And of
One more
course,
point
the
I would like-
teachers for
yeah.
guiding them. The teachers for guiding them, and the pre-rehearsals, they did work out very well.
Yes.
Without
Yesterday,
disrupting all the presentations timely.
Yes. And no,
yesterday it
no.
ran for 3 hours. I told them to minimize it to 1.5, but it ran 1:45, like 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah, okay. But if there are a bunch of more girls who are more interested to go for this, I think we can divide them for 2 days. Day 1 and day 2 science 2.
Yes, we can do it, ma'am. I'll note down this point as well.
Yeah, right.
Though it was
then
lengthy,
They
but,
could behave well,
we-
ma'am. They could behave well because they have learned a word from you, netiquette. You remember in your last lecture, you have told about netiquette. So we have learned it, and we have just inculcated the same spirit of netiquettes in them.
Wow, that's good. But the netiquette was for the workshop for the teachers I did, not for the students. Did you?
So
Did
we
the
have
teachers pass
transformed.
it on?
We have transformed to the students.
Wow, that's great. That's great. I'm happy. I'm happy for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
The netiquette is a very important thing. That's good. And thank you for your everyone's time. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Principal sir, shall we end the meeting?
Principal sir left kar di maine.
Acha, okay.
You can
Then we shall
end
end the
it.
meeting.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.